This is Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling, with Platinum versus AEW Dark Elevation. This was episode 23, I believe, but it happened August 16th, 2021. 11 matches, a little under an hour and a half. It flowed. The main event was Hybrid 2 against the Lucha Brothers. Certainly something to look forward to. Tony Schiavone and Paul White are welcoming us. They're in Pittsburgh, PA. And they say that Eddie Kingston is going to join them on commentary later on. Always a good thing, I think. I will say that Paul White is getting better at the commentary thing. Thank goodness. Duke Davis and Gannon Jones against 2.0. Formerly known as Everrise. It's Jeff Parker. It's Matt Lee. This is a squash match or a foregone conclusion match. In those cases, I judge on a 3 check mark system. 1 check mark for a team or an entity being put over in definitive fashion. And they did. They hit their finisher 2 for the show, which I like a lot. Did they look good in the victory? Absolutely. And did the team that lose either do a really great job in losing or get a disproportionately high amount of offense? They did a great job in losing. They more or less got their ass kicked, though, as it should be. So 3 check marks and we're moving on. Diamante against Julia Hart. I'm going to call this competitive because both of these people have gotten wins before and probably have more wins than losses. I liked how they started the match. Diamante with a monkey flip off of the lockup, which I have not seen in a very long time, if ever. This was a good back and forth match. Julia Hart is really learning on the job and getting better and better and better. Probably her longest match to date. She cheats Diamante. She gets a chain from the middle turnbuckle, punches Hart with it for the win. So in competitive matches, do both sides look good? In this case, yes. Very good, in fact. I'm going to give that a check mark. Did somebody get put over in definitive fashion? Yes, Diamante. And did something get built for later, possibly? I would say yes. The way that Diamante won leaves her open for a rematch with Julia Hart. And something else gets set up because Diamante is going to deal extra damage to Hart, but Big Swole comes in for the save. Diamante escapes as the refs hold Big Swole back. So there'll be more of that. We see a highlight clip from last week's Dark Elevation where Joey Janela turned on Sonny Kiss. So now we're going to get Joey Janela against Alan Angels, number 5. I'll call this competitive as well. You tend to get more of these competitive-ish matches on AEW Dark Elevation, and this is no exception. Janela definitely wrestling rougher. Alan Angels wrestling pure babyface with a lot of high-flying moves. And at the end of the day, Joey Janela wins, pulling Alan Angel's tights. So did they both look good? Yes. Did Joey Janela win in definitive fashion? Yes, by cheating. And did something get set up for later? Not really. They gave no indication that the Dark Order would be looking for revenge, though I say they definitely have put over the aspect of Joey Janela being an absolute heel now. So I am going to give him that 3rd check mark, and we're moving on. Hikaru Shida against Kiera Hogan. How awesome is that? It's really awesome, and they have good matches. I think Kiera Hogan did herself some great favors here. I'm going to be generous and call this a competitive match, even though clearly that wasn't the intent. It was for Kiera Hogan to lose and show off in the process a little bit, but I think she looks really good here, and Shida obviously made it a point to make sure that Kiera Hogan looked good, and they both did a great job, so they get a check mark there. A second one for Hikaru Shida, winning with a Falcon Arrow, and then a 3rd check mark because Kiera Hogan looked really good here. I hope she lands a gig there. She's certainly talented and deserves it. 3 check marks. Lance Archer with Jake the Snake Roberts against Reggie Collins. Reggie Collins, poor mofo, gets destroyed. Archer, who's a little bit more of a babyface these days, with whatever that means, hits the blackout and then walks away. 3 check marks, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Ray Lynn versus Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa wins with the rear naked choke, keeping up her thing of winning with submissions. She has been using the Peruvian necktie mostly as of late, but not here. This is Thunder Rosa winning in a very definitive fashion, so I'm going to give it 3 check marks. Lynn does a good job in the loss for sure. Pac against Anthony Bowens of the Acclaimed, as Max Caster's gone for a little while, hopefully not permanently. But we're giving Anthony Bowens a competitive match against Pac. It's a good match, but Pac is definitely in control, wins with the brutalizer. The fans wanted a Black Arrow, but Pac didn't give it to him and did the brutalizer instead, which I find very interesting. 3 check marks. Both of these guys look really good. Hopefully Anthony Bound. And AEW's shown that before. When a tag team is not happening for whatever reason, injury or somebody gets fired or whatever, in the past, we saw what they did with, Kip. They definitely kept him in the mix. Even when his tag partner got ousted. And then right now, Dante Martin's is hot as it gets, and his partner hasn't been around for quite some time. And now Anthony Bowens. 3 check marks. Brian Cage against Joe Keys. We've seen Joe Keys before. He does really good at getting his ass whipped, and this is no exception. 3 check marks, and oh my God, does Cage just mow right through him. Serpentico against Sammy Guevara. I will charitably call this competitive, mostly because I love Serpentico. Luther finds his way into this match to help keep Serpentico competitive. Sammy G, though, is definitely on a roll. The GTH for the win. Sammy Guevara. 3 check marks. Really good match. This is a good one to check out when you have 2 guys that are working a fast-paced match who know how to work together. This is a good match to look at. Shawn Spears, though, do they get 3 check marks for a competitive match? Yes, here's why. They both looked good. Sammy Guevara won definitively, and then something was advanced because Shawn Spears blindsides Sammy afterwards. Tully Blanchard gives Spears a chair. Spears looks for a C4 on the chair, hits it, and then just hovers over Sammy. Really, really brutal stuff. Really, really great. Katie Arquette, who looks good here. I'm not that familiar with her. In there with Jade Cargill. You're there. Cargill does a little more than she usually does, showing off some more physicality here. But at the end of the day, she wins definitively. That's what she's here to do. The big boot looked really great. The finisher looks really great. Still not sure, honestly. Mark Sterling does not feel like he's adding to the whole thing. Just my opinion. 3 check marks. And then finally, looks like we're going to have a 3 check mark all night long because we get a competitive match between the Hybrid 2 and the Lucha Brothers. What do you expect from this match? Greatness? Well, you got it. Boy, that's a match that honestly is like Dynamite worthy. Really fantastic stuff. The Lucha Brothers, they hit all of their big stuff. You get Fear Factors, Tope con Hero. Penta covers Evans for the win. 3 check marks. It's a competitive match. Did both sides look good? Most definitely. Did the Lucha Brothers look great? Absolutely. Was something advanced? Yes, in the sense that I really liked the way that Penta and Rey worked together. It's probably more indicative of how they work in Mexico as the AAA tag champions. It was a little bit of a different flavor. Now, anytime you're in there with TH2 and Helico especially, it's going to have a different feel, and this one most certainly did, and I liked it. So no flies on them. 3 check marks all night long, and a very good episode of AEW Dark Elevation.